To replace the scaling handpiece on the Scale-Aire unit, make sure, and this is very important, unplug two power cords, one from the module and the other from the compressor. I repeat, unplug the power cord from the module and unplug the power cord from the compressor. Just pull them out of the wall. The tools that you will need are two wire nuts, and one tie wrap that we provided for you. You will also need one 1/8 inch Allen wrench, one wire cutter, and one needle nose plier. Remove the cover by unscrewing the 4 screws. There are 2 screws on each side. You will need a 1/8 inch Allen wrench. Put it in, turn it counterclockwise. Pull the cover off completely. First thing you do is pull back this little white sleeve that is on the clear colored hose. Hold the silver colored pressure regulator nice and steady while you pull the sleeve off, and keep holding it steady, tight, while you then pull the hose off the barb. Next, you cut the white tie wrap on this handpiece cable. But be very careful. You don't want to cut the blue hose. Put the wire cutter between. At the very tip, just give it a little snip. Next, you unscrew this white colored binding material that holds all these wires together, but remove only to where the handpiece cables become free, maybe just 2.5 turns, then stop. Leave all the other wires right where they are. This is your handpiece cable. You will have a clear tube coming out. You will have a black and a red wire also coming out that goes into this bundle. Hold the middle of these wires and then snip them both at the same time. If you look underneath where the black handpiece cable comes in from the bottom of the unit, you will see a black pigtail nut. Unscrew this nut and let it fall. Remove the white sleeve and put it in a place where it won't be disturbed, because you will need it again later. Pull the black handpiece cable up a bit and undo the knot. Then pull the entire black cable out of the unit through the bottom. Take the pigtail nut and put it aside. Get yourself a 2-inch piece of tape and then seal the edges like that. Take your new handpiece cable and put the tape at the end of that bundle and wrap it as tight as you can. Make it really nice and narrow. Take your pigtail nut, slide the cable bottom first up into the pigtail. Then thread this up where you originally took out the handpiece cable. And pull it up about this much. Put a knot in the handpiece cable, about 3 inches from the end before the wires come out. Don't pull tight. You don't want to choke that waterline. And then pull it down to where the knot will stop. Then take your pigtail and screw it back in, finger tight. Don't make it really tight, just finger tight. That's good enough. And pull off the tape. Take the white tie wrap and slide it under the dark blue hose and tie it down. Now here you will see that the tie wrap is flat at one end, and that is where you insert the tail end of the tie wrap. You don't want to tie it down too tight, because remember, this hose has water going through it and you don't want to choke it off. Just tight enough so it doesn't really go anywhere. And then clip off the end of that tail. Here you have the other half of the hoses that you cut off. Take your wire cutters and very, very gently put pressure right here. Very, very gently. You don't want to cut off that piece of wire. And pull. Might take you a little bit of practice. But again, when you pull, don't put pressure on the cutter. All you want to do is remove the insulation. You want to leave this as it is. Do the same thing with this cable. I'm trying not to cut the wires, just the insulation. There we go. Now you take the red and the red, tie them slightly together. Now you match up the red with the red. Take your little nut and screw it on. Give it several turns. Make sure it's nice and tight. I'm going to wrap this wrapping material back to the way it was. Remember this little white sleeve? Well, you're going to be putting this onto the waterline, putting the waterline onto the barb, push it down all the way as far as it will go. It should reach all the way to the bottom. Take your sleeve and push that all the way down as well. You take your needle nose pliers and you push it down as far as it will go. Make sure it doesn't come off. Now all you have to do is put the cover back on. Take your 1/8 Allen wrench and tighten down these little screws, this end and the other side as well. And you're finished.